Hello everyone and welcome to... I was actually very shocked to find this on the Steam store, but welcome to System Shock. It's been known for quite a long time that there was going to be a remake of the first System Shock game. A very old game, a classic of the sci-fi genre, and you could say innovator of most sci-fi games that came to be known later on in life. That have also grown popular of the sci-fi genre, maybe the likes of Deus Ex, the likes of the Chronicles of Riddick, just to name a few that I feel that without older games like System Shock, without older games like Syndicate, the genre of sci-fi first-person games wouldn't really have been popular, but people have always been interested in the future. That's a given fact. People have always wanted to explore space, they've always wanted to explore technology, especially in video games and storytelling. So games like System Shock 2 really delivered in that department, especially back in the day when sci-fi was still pretty hard to pull off, especially with the limitations of technology. But now, fast forward to 2016, they've actually released the System Shock remake demo to the public on Steam, and it was, judging by what I can tell, it was released on the 28th of June, but I actually missed it. I don't know, maybe I was too caught up in the summer sale trying to see what I could buy that I actually missed out on this epic release. Though it's just a pre-alpha demo, at least you get a good idea of how the Kickstarter it is a Kickstarter project, and you can get to see how much progress they've made in remastering the game in this short 8 to 10 minute section that they've let the public play. The game is actually done on Unity, which is a game engine that the funny thing is, it's the same game engine I used for my graduation project. So it's quite interesting to see the games come to light. It's a very short section, hence why I'm talking a lot right now, and I guess we'll walk through it and discuss some of the things as we are playing it. Welcome to System Shock. This is the remake / remaster by Night Drive, pre-alpha. Everything might change, or the game might not even reach its goal on Kickstarter, who knows, but I'm definitely gonna keep this for a long time and play it just to see the nuances of the game. So press space to play. And in true System Shock fashion, we are woken up from cryogenic sleep. Don't actually know by whom, but we'll get some time to analyze our surroundings as we move along. There's pretty much no rush in this particular demo. You can take your sweet time, you can literally just get to see things. It says here, stasis complete, subject L9546, which should be us. Surgery, neural implant surgery, so I'm assuming we were augmented to become more cybernetic. Cryogenic healing, 8 months. Wait, healing time 8 months or 6 months. Did our 6 months finish? Healing complete. Please proceed to reception to collect your personal belongings and check out. The problem is, though we were in cryogenic sleep, things have changed on the station. Let's just say at reception we won't be greeted with the people that we thought we would. But as you can see, of course, being a remake of the game in the latest Unity engine, I'm assuming they're using Unity 5, it's the most recent engine. Get some Medipatch picked up. If they're moving with Unity 5, there's some leeway in terms of the graphics, what they can do with the game, but to be honest with you, I kind of wish they used the Unreal Engine. There's quite a lot of technological enhancements that people have been making with the Unreal Engine, the latest one, Unreal Engine 4, especially by, I think it's Ninja Theory, the guys who made the Devil May Cry remake. They're making Hellblade, and some of the tech that they've discovered with Unreal Engine 4, real-time rendering of sprites, real-time rendering of motion capturing, it's really cool. So here we're gonna pick up a system analyzer. monitors the biometrics of the user, so at least we get a feed of our health sign, our biometer up there in the top left corner. And then down here we have a navigation and mapping unit, which will technically be our compass for the game. Since we've been in cryogenic sleep, getting all repaired and I'm assuming augmented, hence why we're able to plug in all of these add-on attachments. But of course, if you're familiar with the System Shock lore, you will understand things that I do not, because sadly I never got to play the older games. I just heard about them, so I'm not too sure what the story is all about. We have a media log reader and we have a standard access key, so let's take the key and let's take the media reader. This device plays logs and reads emails.
Confirm. Hello? Hello? Finally got someone. Alright, my name is Rebecca Lansing. I'm a counter-terrorism consult for Triumph. First things first, get something to defend yourself with. You're gonna need it. Things on Citadel Station are bad, very bad. The comms are dead and there is strong evidence of a biological contamination on board. And that's not the worst part. The station's mining laser is charging for potential strike against Earth. Nathan Darcy is the science officer on board. He'll have information on shutting the laser down. His office is on your level near the central hub. Get there immediately. See what you can find.
So apparently things in Citadel Station ain't looking so good. We've been in sleep for 6 months and during this time, things have gotten really bonkers on the station. Systems ain't working as they should. And let's just say there's been a lot of killing. Now, first enemy we'll encounter here is this bot. Very simple enemy, you just need to stay out of its range. Hit and run. Oh, nope, we got hit. But it's very lenient, I'm assuming, because of the fact that it's a demo. You will pick up some items, scrap items, probably some crafting items and various other objects as you go along the demo. But sadly enough, you won't actually get to use most of them. I'm assuming most of the ingredients we're getting are crafting items. Picked up a leg, arm, and a severed torso. As you can see, I have access to an inventory where you can see your equipment, your hardware. We only have the system analyzer, the navigation mapper, and the media reader. We don't have any software, any games or cyber. Data reader, we only have one email, the one we just read right now, telling us about how things are bad in the station, and no nav unit. So there are some usable items. The Medipatch is a potential, a potent healing patch to ease pain and heal wounds. Stam Me Up is a patch that delays physical fatigue in the user. A battery is a portable battery pack, can only be used once. And the patch that temporarily increases upper body strength is the Berserk Booster. Now the dismembered limbs, I haven't really found a use for them. Let's see, can you actually equip these? No, you cannot. So I'm assuming body parts will be used for dismantling and crafting, probably for some form of progression. I'm not too sure. As you can see here, we've got potential official of the station, maybe a medical wait, no, he's not a diagnostic tool, but anyway, he seems very dead and has been dead for a long time. So have these corpses. Got some crumpled up paper and a crumpled up soda can. Potentially crafting items. Can't really say too much. If we look in here, I'm assuming that these are medical pods that they put people in. One seems to have been bust open and oh well. Blood smeared everywhere. Through the door. Get some soda though. Let's see. I like I like the way when I was reading the description of the game, I believe it was an insert that was taken from the Kickstarter campaign, and they were talking about the fact that they want to remake System Shock, as you can see, but they still want to give players a more modern feel of first-person games. Back in the day, things like sprinting and other tropes that have been commonly become staple of first-person games, how can I say this? Movement option, mobility options, just the overall feel. People had taken that for granted, but back in the day, such things didn't exist. Back in the day, we never used to sprint in first person, get some grenades. Things like that were just not really. They had fixed movement. It's either you were moving at the fixed speed or you were crouching, jumping, or maybe you'd be lucky that the game has a walk function. Boost up our energy to 100%. And so they really wanted to add, they say they want to add more modern feel, more modern FPS standards of movement and gameplay, but still yet retain the feel of the old System Shock game. They don't want to alienate the older crowd. Apparently written in blood here is 451. There's no actual panel feed. You actually have to right click on each button individually and you get your feel. And that's our first humanoid mutant enemy. Sometimes they can be a bit tricky, but luckily enough they give you a little bit of health to deal with, such that it won't be a complete waste.
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. You are currently
I'd like to try out one of these grenades. I never actually got to use one.
All can be accessed by the elevator in
Oh,
Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel. Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing stage went well. You are currently in the healing suite located on the first level. All levels can be accessed by the elevator in Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel Station.
not too sure why the service machinery is gone haywire, but down here it seems like we have the Group 1 access key card, so we're definitely gonna pick that up. Really feel like exploring this area. Not that that does anything for you, but sometimes the security cams do actually have some items. I don't believe there's any use for them in the particular demo I'm in. The demo we'll all be playing, I guess. But I'm assuming it's gonna be a good habit to have within the main game. Open up some crates. More crumpled up stuff and beakers. Probably crafting items. They'll implement a crafting system, I would hope, in the main game, whenever, if ever, it actually does get released. But it's really good I don't know. In recent years, companies have decided to take on the whole either maybe the game will have a demo, alpha, beta test of some sort. Maybe. Usually, if it's a multiplayer game, they'll be testing out servers. But usual single player games like this don't actually dish out demos so often. And when they do, you actually get a feel to see what exactly is going on. Like, for example, I never actually bought Doom. Doom 4 is, I've heard, is a really good game, but I just didn't have the cash for it. But then, upon seeing that there was actually a Doom demo, I actually got to play the demo and made my own fair judgment of the game. My judgment of the game was, the game's good, I've played the multiplayer beta before, and now I've gotten a taste of the single player. The game is actually good, but it's not really worth my cash at full price. That was my decision of it. For me personally, who has no prior experience to System Shock, I can't really speak from experience, but I can say that the whole dark fantasy sci-fi setting is always really cool. Last previous game I ever played of such nature was Alien Isolation, and I truly enjoyed Alien Isolation. It was a long game, it was a difficult game, definitely frustrating at times when the enemy I feel that Alien Isolation resorted to not fully exploring avenues of difficulty. And in saying that, what I mean is, instead of finding creative and innovative ways and spicing up different stages maybe to increase difficulty, all they just did is hype up the aliens' awareness and speed such that you would really have a tough time getting past the stage, because the alien always one-shots you. And you can't really kill the alien. So they'll just be like, hey, usually the alien can hear you from 10 meters away. Now he can hear you from 50 meters away, kind of thing. It's one of those really that's not so fun. Find creative ways in doing it. Now you can see the cathedral station that we are currently in. We woke up from cryogenic sleep. And sadly, my knowledge of planets seems to have slipped me. I'm not too sure if this is Uranus or Saturn. Or one of... I don't know. One of them. I'm sure someone who remembers the names of planets will tell me what this looks, which planet this kind of looks like, but I'm sure in the System Shock lore it might not be in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm not too sure. It could be somewhere else, and this planet is just modeled after Uranus or Saturn, whichever one it is. But besides that, I guess I can say thanks for watching, and I will see you soon.